So today we are going to go over, obviously, the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is leaving NBC, in case you haven't noticed. And Haas Racing and Ford, maybe, I guess for lack of a better term, divorcing.
Well, I mean, I will say my comment. I will leave my comments till we actually talk about it, because I about just let one slip. But
yeah, you gotta wait, man.
it's okay.
Gotta hit that intro first.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah, well, let's hit that intro, baby. All right. Welcome to Raise Hale, Praise Dale podcast, where we talk about everything related to the world of the NASCAR Cup Series, a little bit of other things sprinkled in. I am Voodoo.
I'm JTDALLIS.
Hey, there we go. We on the ball today. Yeah. First things first. The entry list for Phoenix got released. At least the preliminary one, not the official. And there's some new sponsors, I would say, that we haven't announced for the season. They may not be completely brand new for these teams, but looking forward to seeing what potential schemes are going to come out this week. So we got a handful of them that I put into the notes. We'll just kind of run down them real quick, see which ones kind of pop out to each other. So first off, we got the number 2, Austin Cindric, gonna have a Menards and Duracell scheme. Looking forward to seeing that copper top on there.
That one's gonna be. Let's say I think that's gonna be. Still Morgan. I ripped old man, but Morgan and Morgan. Car.
Yeah, it'll probably be their noble Morgan and Morgan scheme rather than a buff old man. Yeah. Corey LaJoie's number 7 is gonna have the Group 1001 scheme, which I'm pretty sure is probably just gonna look like Kyle Busch's truck scheme.
And then you got Noah Jackson in the number 10. He's gonna be running a ServPro car, which I think is gonna look pretty. I don't know if you know anything about ServPro. We've got one here where I live, and their lime green mixed with the black is what most of their cars are. I think it's going to be pretty.
I want to say that ServPro was on Bubba Wallace's car before. Or I could be mistaken. I'm feeling that.
I don't know. Well, there's also, that might not be like a main scheme. That was my thing. If they make a main scheme out of ServPro, I think that'd be really cool. But just the logo on the back.
Well, no. This is supposed to be his primary sponsor for the.
Oh, okay. So I bet it'd be pretty good.
Yeah. All these are for what was listed on that entry list for Phoenix this weekend. So these will be their primary sponsors.
Okay.
I'm definitely looking forward to it because I like that bright neon lime kind of green stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially if they make them look like, I don't know if you've ever seen their trucks running around, but they have they're black, like green lightning through them. It looks really good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Looking forward to it.
Be cool to see a car like that. So.
Next up, this isn't new for Ryan Blaney, but he's going to be running an advanced auto parts scheme, which we have not released yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with Phoenix.
You got Bubba Wallace in the U.S. Air Force.
Air Force schemes are always nice. Hate that it went over to 2311 instead of staying with Legacy.
I wish the Army and the Navy would come back to sponsoring NASCAR.
Yeah, can you imagine? Think this through. If the Army came back and sponsored John Hunter Nemechek, consider it.
That would be.
They cool. Used to sponsor old Nemechek back in the day.
Yeah, Joe Nemechek.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Next up, you got Daniel Hemrick in the 31, going to be running a Poppy Banks. I don't know if I've know what they look like.
And you got Ricky Stenthouse. He's running a Fry/Coca-Cola Spice team. I'm kind of curious because I've never heard the Fry or Coca-Cola Spiced or anything like that.
I was going to ask you if you've tried the Coca-Cola Spiced yet, because I actually have some in my dining room right now. Because ran into it at my grocery store. It is raspberry flavored Coca-Cola.
Oh. That sounds pretty good, honestly.
It wasn't. I mean, I was expecting it to be some crazy, off the wall one like they used to do. You know, like the outer space one. I forget what it was called, but they had that.
Ooh, you know what Coke I really liked, which is kind of off topic, but I mean on top
really.
kind of guy. Well, kind of, but you know what I mean. Marshmallow. I was wondering what that noise was. But, yeah, the marshmallow. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a white, pink can.
Oh, that white can?
Yeah.
It was just
I don't know if I remember that one.
It was pretty good, honestly. But
yeah, that was actually, it's pretty good. My kid done had about 3 or 4 cups of it.
no, that's probably why they're loud. They're bouncing off the walls.
Right. This one's gonna be interesting. Justin Haley in the 51 running a fraternal order of Eagle. Wonder if that's like a fraternal order of Eagle Scouts, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's like a. They have one around here. It's like I'm trying to think of what I could compare it to. It's kind of like Shriners.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like Shriners. So that's what the fraternal oral is. Now this I'm looking really forward to. Sponsor not listed. Nah, they just didn't list the sponsor this week, so it might be a.
I got a feeling it might be Focused Health again, but just the fact that it wasn't listed on there. Kind of sketchy, because his was the only one that wasn't listed.
Yeah.
Based off of this list, you also got
already.
John Hunter Nemechek is running the Albertson Safeways again. But Eric Jones is switching from Dollar Tree to Family Dollar this week. I wonder if that's going to be a new Family Dollar scheme or not. But so far, we could have potentially 14 new paint schemes on the track this weekend. Unfortunately, none have been released yet as of 5 p.m. Eastern today, a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's team. So now I guess like team. Pollard. He's making his Xfinity Series debut at Richmond in the number 88 Dream for Chevy for JR Motorsports. So looking forward to that.
And big, he was successful on the dirt tracks. Hopefully it'll trend.
I haven't heard anything. Have you heard about Tony? I haven't heard anything about her.
She's racing ARCA this weekend. There's no truck race. That's kind of down around that portion.
Yeah.
But she has obviously got Canes now. She's
still running Victoria's Secret for her ARCA, isn't she?
That and what's the other one that we?
I don't know.
Celsius, maybe?
Yeah, that's what it was.
She's got a number of different sponsors there.
Yeah.
We'll see how she does. Next up, for the Fords, I guess they didn't think that their little dark horse on the front of the car was visible in lightened it up a little bit. So it's easy.
I mean, I agree.
The dark horse isn't so dark anymore.
Yeah. Okay, it was Celsius.
That was just off the top of my head. That wasn't looking up nothing.
Go.
Nothing big as far as team, but
or news, technically, the Ford thing. Let's jump to what I was going to talk about earlier when we brought up Gregson and Stuart Haas. Jumping from Ford. So NASCAR penalties. Priest and Gregson were docked 35 points for roof air deflectors not in compliance. I just want to point out that most teams, when they cheat, they at least win. These guys, they cheat a lot and they don't get anywhere. So that was my comment.
yeah, that was a rough because I think Gregson started like this weekend. He was -6 points, I think.
Yeah,
They went into Las Vegas.
It was not good.
Now he pulled off a 6th place
speaking of
finish, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Speaking of points, have you checked in our fantasy?
Yeah, you see, old trash can moved to first place.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
You
Haley
dropped a
had
third.
Dang good score. Yeah, I know.
I'm in 2nd place now. Just saying. Woo.
Haley had a good score, and a couple of the others had. But I had like the worst score of the weekend. That sucked.
Get a better score than me.
No. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't remember if I got better score.
I'm not sure.
Chris Bell didn't help me out very.
Dude, as a Bell fan, it's hurting my soul to watch the just because of everything that happened. I'm so salty. But anyway, back to the penalties. I'm sorry I got off on a tangent. I just wanted to
Hey, this is a
talk.
non-formal podcast.
But if you are interested in our fantasy, I'm sure I can put the Discord in the chat here in a second, and then you can join off that. It's on the.
And if you're not watching live, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, the Discord link is in the description. That way as well. But essentially, it's on NASCAR.com. Look for Raise Hale, Praise Dale podcast. Make sure you throw that podcast on the end there.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Otherwise, you're joining somebody else's.
And
Password.
The password is RHPD2024.
Correct. And go ahead and get yourself in. I know we're a couple races in now, and it may seem like you're not going to be able to catch up, but better join now if you want to better your chances of winning. Fourth diecast from Lionel Racing website of your choice.
And speaking of giveaways, excuse me, sir.
He wants to give away some
Your
barks.
Not validated. The Chris Bell giveaway that we are having. Hang on a minute. What the heck? Okay, sorry. The Chris Bell giveaway that we will be having that ends in June. Don't forget to get in. Are you still live? Are you sure? I say that as I'm watching. Just sorry on my chat. It was like live. I'm sorry. That was my.
Oh, people.
I put the score in the comments.
That's Twitch chat, but yeah, same thing. We know what you meant.
Whatever. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you in Chris Bell way, be sure to go on our Twitter. I will post a post after this episode is over. Comment your favorite racetrack name, or you can comment on in the chat. We'll put your username down. And in June, Voodoo and I plan on doing at least one during that special. So we will put everybody's name and a random name, or and draw for that. And the is for an autograph piece of NASCAR memorabilia. If everything goes right, I will 100% guarantee that it's signed by that person because I will be getting the signature. If not, we will be giving away an autograph piece regardless. But
speaking of June, since we're on a tangent right now, I know we got hundreds of thousands of millions of followers.
oh yeah,
So if any of y'all are going to the Nashville race, we will be there. Maybe we can plan some sort of meetup. Get to know some of you guys.
I would also kind of be. I know in April, if any of you guys are going to Texas, I will be in Texas April.
And
if y'all guys wanted to be there,
he's going to Texas in April. I'm going to Talladega in April.
the week right.
And hopefully we're both going to get some footage to just have a little special video to put up on YouTube and all that. Looking forward to it. But enough of that tangent. Back to the NASCAR penalties in Atlanta. Did you see Joey Logano's glove?
How could I not? It's what blew up everywhere. The glove that everybody was like,
I thought it was just
I don't get it.
like originally I thought it was just webbed between the pointer and the thumb, but no, he had it webbed between every single finger.
I guess I don't really understand what tactical advantage that would get you. In my mind, it doesn't get you one.
During qualification, you see them drivers sticking their hand out the window. That's to block the air to get it just a smidgen faster.
To reduce the drag.
Yeah. So with the webbing, he's blocking more air that way. Everybody. But essentially, he got fined $10,000 for violation.
That's
altered
one expensive set of the gloves.
Right. He altered how it's issued to them. But then also during the race, basically right after the green flag waved, he had to come down for a pass-through pit.
Yeah. And the guy, Yale, Xfinity crew chief and Miller suspended for 2 races after an altercation with Kyle Weatherman. I did hear about this one.
Yeah,
that's great though.
Yeah, the crew chief himself went over to the driver and like got in his. It was interesting.
Sounds like it.
But sure Yale will be back.
I'm sure, but it's still funny.
Next thing, updates around the NASCAR world. Remember last week we talked about the potential for Honda coming to NASCAR. Well, may not just be a rumor. Might be some foundation to it. Marshall Pruitt was quoted saying, "If you're a Honda fan and you like NASCAR, probably going to be happy in the." That was from Austin Kinsky of Motorsports Wire that put that article out.
Yeah. What?
That kind of flows into something else we were other updates. But it sounds like we will have a 4th manufacturer. I think I saw that it would potentially not be this season or next, but maybe 2026. That'd be cool.
That would be
cool. See some Honda, right?
Didn't we talked about what's his name? Steve. What's his name? Was talking about Honda.
Yeah.
Be pretty cool to see.
Seems like it's heating up though.
On a more, if you like me, it's kind of a sad note. 23XI rumors are they're pulling diecast approvals from Lionel Racing because they're citing quality/value concerns. That's reported by Seriously Fast Motorsports. It kind of bumps me out because I mean, some of like some of the cars are pretty cool, like Tyler Reddick's Beast car and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
I don't know.
don't
I'm just
really
kinda,
want the Fry car, but
no.
but I don't see what quality value. I have a good amount of their cars behind me, and I don't.
Well, I'm gonna say this much: the ones I do order from Lionel usually come pretty decent. I have had a couple of instances where like the box was damaged, or a couple instances where they double charged me, and I did get 2 sets of cars, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll send you a box and you can send them back. Well, they never sent the box, so I still have 2, and I only got charged for 1. So, I mean, maybe those kind of things, like, but it's more shipping. It's not really Lionel. Like I said, most of the cars that I get, they are just perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Well, most of the problem is I pre-ordered them. So, you're welcome, sweetheart. But anyway, next on our list is Alex Weaver is starting a new series called Weekend Bands, where she will list her favorite places near the upcoming racetrack.
If you follow her on Twitter, basically gonna do is like races at Phoenix this weekend. Okay, this is the cool stuff to do in Phoenix.
That'd be pretty cool to do.
It'll come in handy for like.
Yeah, that's what I was. Next, NASCAR teams told to install defoggers for the Bristol race in a couple of weeks. Maybe like short tracks with no wipers on rain or rain flaps, but race in damp conditions if no spray. So let me retry it. Let me try to read that again because that sounded awful. NASCAR told teams to install defoggers for the Bristol race in a couple of weeks. Maybe like short tracks with no wipers or rain flaps, but they would race in damp conditions if there's no spray. That's a lot better. So
We got Series in the house. Come in.
hey, welcome.
Shout out since you're the first person jumping in. Shout out for B. He is also in our Wednesday night league racing, but somehow I seriously pulled off a win.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't had a bad day.
Yeah, Monday's going pretty well today. Last week.
Anyway,
back to Bristol. We could see a damp track. Cars racing.
Yep.
Sounds like it. iRacing now has rain.
Yeah. So is leaving NBC. He's taking the 2024 season off, and then we'll be joining Amazon, Warner Brothers, Discovery Sports for the 2025 season. WBD Sports will be broadcast on TNT, streamed on Max, and have a Bleacher Report component. I'm not 100% sure what that means.
Just like a kind of Bob Popker's type situation.
Okay.
Got extra cover. But
So
I think that's pretty big for using them. Saw some stuff flying around that maybe behind the scenes there was some tension. But
next year, well, in next year, NBC's not covering the races.
Correct.
So, I mean,
he's dipping out this season.
But I had heard the what do you call it? The rumors about there was a fight, or they just didn't see eye to eye. Yeah. Next on our list is Jimmy Johnson and Cal Wells III, inducted in the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame.
They're Hall of Fame under Jimmy Johnson. Looking forward to this race coming up at Sonoma because their entire course repaved. The whole project's.
Yeah.
Wonder how that's gonna affect.
It's kind of like when Atlanta gets repaved because it gets a whole lot more competitive. And
Atlanta was awesome this year.
It was. I seen a lot of edits where they put it up against like the cars finish and stuff. It was pretty funny. But anyway, another rumor stirring is that Stuart Haas will be leaving Ford. The Daily Downforce put out an article stating that Front Row Motorsports is a higher tier team with Ford, and SHR is seemingly struggling with them, even though they're a higher tier team. Could be a sign of them parting ways. It doesn't so happen to be a contractor between the two, so they could be holding up for Honda or.
Right, that's where I was gonna go with that.
Toyota and, yeah,
I think they would more fall in line. If you're gonna leave a manufacturer, you might as well jump to a new one. They're not gonna have all these top tier teams yet.
That and they'll have something to prove.
Right. Because other than Gregson's finish this weekend, they've been struggling.
Yeah. You know what manufacturer I'd love to see come back to NASCAR?
Dodge.
I would love to see Dodge back to NASCAR. That they put out some of the coolest, and I know it wasn't just them, but about looking at like the Dodges, or even if for some reason Pontiac come back, I'd love to see the Grand Prix and stuff like that. I would think that'd be pretty cool.
Chelsea, 2026 will see a Stuart Haas racing Honda.
I wonder what it would take for a NASCAR to run Gen 5 cars back.
I don't see that.
Yeah, they do. We can dream.
Yeah. So let's get to this. Not as exciting as Atlanta. Yeah. So we did see a couple of tire issues, but they used a new right side tire at Vegas this week. Supposedly it has an updated construction. Will hopefully give teams window. Which, I mean, we did see the issue early on in the race, but didn't see them too much later on.
Yeah.
But that tire is also going to be used. Texas, Kansas,
I don't want to talk about tires. Stupid.
Right. So you had Ryan Preece talking about the start of the race now. Ryan Preece go to the back car after pretty much wrecked it in practice. Starting laps of practice. Ross Chastain and Justin Haley both went to the back for unapproved adjustments. I have to say this. Ross Chastain's unapproved adjustment was reapplying their hood decal.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense that he goes.
Which is, I was like, I
rules
don't
are rules.
Get that point. Yes. So a little bit about the stats of the race. 24 lead changes among 15 drivers. Derek Kraus led a couple laps during the pit cycle in his Cup Series debut.
Got a couple laps under his belt there.
Of course, they need to give Kyle Larson a broom because he swept all of the stages and got the win. So if he was on your fantasy, you picked really good.
Hopefully you had Tyler Reddick on your fantasy.
I sure didn't.
Should have had a
My
smaller
fantasy did
broom.
not work out good. Yeah, he should have a hand broom because he got P2 in both of the stages and at the end of the race. And I think if he would have had just like 1 or 2 more laps, he probably would have had Larson.
He was charging hard.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
It was a good battle at the end. 31 cars finished on the lead laps. Most to finish on the lead lap at Vegas. Chris Buescher lost a wheel.
Yeah.
Penalty is a 2 crew members of NASCAR's choosing. And he was supposed to have a 2-lap penalty, but his day was already over at that point. Yeah, I'm surprised his crew chief, his car chief, wasn't suspended. Because it wasn't it usually like last season, like if they had a lug come off or a tire come off, their crew chief and some of their pit crews.
Well, his doesn't look like it was a loose lug nut that caused it, though. If you saw it when that tire came off, it looked like it, like
Just sheared.
in half or something.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It
Speaking of,
broke itself off pretty much.
yeah.
But
Speaking of stuff breaking itself.
Yeah. Yeah, because of it, NASCAR had to weld the piece of wall, and it caused a red flag until they got it repaired. Yeah. It was nuts. For once in my life, my dad was actually watching the race with me, kind of. And he seen that, and he's like, "What the heck are they doing?" And I was like, "They're fixing the wall." He's like, "Well, why are they welding it?" And he's like, "Isn't that a foam wall?" I was like, "It's got like a guardrail type material, then it's foam and rubber behind it." He's like, oh, "Okay." And I was like, he's like, "That makes sense." So it was kind of cool. They got to explain like kind of what was going on. And
Apparently, they had to red flag the race. Originally, they were just going to pull the welding truck right up next to the thing and weld it real quick and just keep it under yellow. But
Yeah.
banking was too much for the welding truck, so they had to park down on the apron.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny them to weld. Speaking of lug nuts and tires jarring off, Bubba Wallace had to have a lug nut cut off because he had too many people over the wall working on it, so he had to pass through penalty or 12 laps down. Unfortunately, I had him on my DraftKings. I was just like, oh, I'll put him on there, you know. He was my wild card, and my DraftKings has not been doing good this season.
Yep. Well, did mention earlier that Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick pretty much dominated the whole race. But
Yep.
William Byron probably had the car to beat. He decided to pick up a hitchhiking trash bag, start overheating.
That ain't no lie.
Gave it a free race experience, but turned out later on,
what people had to pay hundreds of dollars for, that trash bag got for free.
right? Turns out later, apparently there must have been a beer can in that trash bag because they found a beer can in there.
Oh no! Tell Byron to lay off the beer.
He managed to come back though.
So I want to say a little bit like special moment. Happy anniversary to Alex Bowman because it's now
Bittersweet on this.
He's officially won the race. I am bittersweet only because of the number, but at the same time, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be blunt. I really don't care for Alex Bowman. He seems kind of, I don't know. He's the weakest link in Hendrick. And for Hendrick to be one of the biggest car or teams in NASCAR, and they've been for 40 years, I feel like they could get someone better to take his place. Just statistically wise.
Speaking of somebody taking his place, I think he's got a couple years left on his contract. Successful. But
yeah,
I think I know who Hendrick's got in mind for that next seat. if he keeps having success.
I have a good thought.
Who?
Hang on a minute. I don't want to get his name wrong because I see a face and then I'm thinking of a name, but I want to make sure that. Hang on, sorry. So I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Raja Karuth.
Ruth.
Karuth. Okay, thank you. Like I said, I could see his face and I could kind of remember his name, but it's kind of a different name, and
Yeah,
So-
he's got the HendrickCars.com truck.
yes,
Just managed to get his first.
I was about to say, he just got his first win. And he's stirring up a lot of good publicity. So I'm thinking that could be. That'll give him a couple years, to work around and see. But I feel like that would be.
Tell you what, if he moves up into the 48, start collecting for it.
You can lie.
But
I liked his attitude. I was watching some of his stuff.
Speaking of Raja Karuth, it's like NASCAR's very own Gran Turismo kid. He started in iRacing. Didn't get to actually start driving 2019. But he's also only the third African American person who
win a truck
in
a truck race.
Well, just in the national series. Truck,
Really?
Xfinity and Cup.
I thought it was just a truck race. That's pretty cool.
So, moving on from that, we're only 3 races into 2024.
Wait. Was that your pick too?
Yeah.
You never told me. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page.
3 races into 2024. We only have 7 drivers that have finished on the lead lap in every race.
Some of these names shock me. I'm not.
Daniel Hemrick, Liam Byron, who came back from that trash bag fiasco. Kyle Busch, which made a Rick. I can fix this. Pit crew. Ty Gibbs, John Hunter Nemechek, Martin Truex Jr. and
I'm also gonna say this: if the season keeps going like it is, Jones better watch out for his job because John Hunter's coming for. He's gonna be like the main driver. You know what I mean?
now they both kind of struggled at this past race.
But like the first 2 at Daytona, they finished together. But Atlanta, Johnner was way up past Jones. So I'm just saying this season continues because in every race, John Hunter has been ahead of. So
Sometimes at one place.
well, if you're not first,
Ask
you're last.
Kyle Larson this weekend.
Right?
Um,
Past Tyler Reddick, that'd be a better one.
he wanted one. Jumping down to Phoenix. No truck race. But this will be the first race with a new simplified future and a supposed to change it down, quote unquote, track. So how it's going to affect him really yet? But the Friday got teams practice. Saturdays.
Just have a general question, just because I'm curious on that. I just thought about it. If you have a race get You have to buy like a practice ticket.
From my understanding, it depends on the day that you have. Like, say you only got the Cup race ticket, you would only be able to go in whatever events room. Say you got an Xfinity ticket, you Xfinity practice and stick around. Quality.
Gotcha. But if you got a weekend pass, then you go.
You'll be able to get to all of it.
Okay, that'd be cool. 1 year we need the weekend passes.
Yeah, many years in the future.
Hey, it happened. King's Wine come through for us.
Right.
Get a King's Wine box.
Sending us to the King's Hawaiian 400 to hang around with Brad Keselowski in the King's Hawaiian car. While we eat King's Hawaiian sliders.
I'd be okay with that.
Hungry now.
They can send.
Already stuffing my face. The schedule. Like we mentioned, there's no trucks this weekend, but Friday, speaking of Tony, got ARCA practicing qualifying at 3:30 Eastern. Friday. Fortunately, I don't believe.
Usually ARCA's not, which is unfortunate, because I do like watching ARCA.
The practicing qualifying race is.
Is it, what's it, FS2 or something?
There's one.
Okay.
Cup practice at 5:05 Eastern. That's Friday. Start your FS1 coverage. Race hub will be at 6 Eastern. ARC 50 at Phoenix. Eastern. FS1.
Yeah, I'm not watching Frankie Muniz run just because I seen him as in my childhood, and now I get to see him go around the track. It's cool.
TV star turned race car driver.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it.
It's like the opposite of what we're seeing recently.
Right. Race. You got the Infinity prep and qualifying at 12:30 on F2 p.m. And you got Cup qualifying at 2:10 p.m. Eastern time on FS1. NASCAR race day at 4 p.m. Eastern time on FS1. And then you got the Xfinity race at 4:30 on FS1. The first lap or the first stage is 45, second is 45. And the last is 110. So 200 laps for 2
And then jump into Sunday, which is fun day.
fun days.
Got race day starting at 2 p.m. Eastern on FS1, and 2:30 rolls around, switching over to Fox. Got race day. And then the big show, 3:30 Eastern on Fox. First stage is 60 laps. Second stage is 125 laps. Third stage is 127 laps, which will give you 312 laps. And because it's a perfect mile, 112 miles.
Is there?
Yep. Alright, so I managed to slip up on this. Not do before asking this. Who you got for?
Let's see here.
I don't know what you're doing.
Chevy.
Oh, would that be?
Race.
And not the fact that they've won the last 3. Well, hello there, child of mine. Welcome, Dev Walker Jr.
Oh,
His baseball game got canceled tonight, so he didn't have to be a podcast.
So my pick is probably gonna with. I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch.
I could see him wanting to bounce back.
Definitely.
Now, the only problem I got with that, over the last 6 races, average 2. I like to go off of averages.
Yeah.
I think the Chevy streak's going to get broken this weekend.
Oh, you think so?
And I think it's going to be a blue oval to do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
What do you got in mind?
I think I'm going to have to go with Mr. Fancy Pants Ryan Blaney.
What do you think Blaney's going to get it this weekend, huh?
He's been charging hard the rest of the season. I think it's
if I seen a Ford, you know who I'd pick if a Ford was.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with McDowell.
Really?
A player has he not? He's been this season. So.
I can't argue with that for sure. Yeah, I think it's Ryan Blaney's weekend.
Yeah, I could see McDowell being in it.
Like winning or top 10?
Winning. Well, my pick was Kyle Busch. So I could see. I said if a Ford won, I could see McDowell winning.
All right, so rookies of the week after.
Just kidding.
Rookie of the week from Las Vegas.
Viva.
I would say that your rookie of the. Yeah, it was rough. I think Hocevar did decent. They compared to the rest of them.
As far as squeaked by, I guess, yeah.
But Josh Ferry only gained 6 spots.
Yeah.
His starting spot.
6. Guess again. Oh yeah. Never mind.
Kaz Gralla only managed to go up 1 spot.
And that's starting like in 3 seconds. So.
Dane Smith managed to go backwards.
Oof.
Which he did not finish. He did not finish last. There was one person behind him.
Who finished last?
Pusher was the only one that not finished the race.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had a DNF.
But Carson Hocevar, I mean, technically went backwards, but only by 1 spot. Started P14, finished P15.
He was the only. Well, I mean, him and Josh Berry were the only 2 in the top 20.
Yeah, which Josh Berry looked pretty good last week.
Dang, was that the only one in there?
Yeah, so I would say this week, Carson Hocevar would get the rookie of the week.
Put one in the freezer, so when I get done, I can have one. I haven't had one yet. Hocevar is our rookie of the week, apparently. About a Coke.
Unacceptable. Not a Coca-Cola spiced. We don't need to talk about it. Yeah. So the fun part.
My favorite part of the Funcast, apparently, is what I'm gonna call it now because I can't speak.
What's new? Nah.
That's fair.
You ready for it? You ready for it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
New picture up there for part of it.
Ooh, look at that. I like that.
Some of our schemes that we've gone over.
Oh yeah. We need to start writing them down so we don't lose them. So I got the VIN for this week's episode, and I chose the 1996 Olympic Goodyear, or Goodwrench, I'm sorry. Goodwrench car that Dale Earnhardt Sr. drove. So it was the Winston Select, known as the All-Star Race, at Charlotte. And Earnhardt won segment 2, but finished 3rd, which is a respectable finish.
That's a nice number.
Oh, yeah, right.
3 and 3rd.
But if there was ever a car that screamed what America thinks of NASCAR, it was definitely this one, because it is literally a huge American flag with a number 3 slapped on the side of it. By far the best one. I have a die cast of this just because I love it so much.
I wouldn't mind.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna take a second because I want to show you my die cast because I'm super proud of this one. Hang on.
Go ahead.
Be right
Go
back.
ahead.
Sorry. I can still talk, but yeah. So that is my pick. Hang on. I'm super proud of this.
If I could get back to.
So this is my mint condition. 1996. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but the plastic is not yellow, and there's no dents in the plastic. It's never been opened. Yeah. So
Do you want to sleep all night?
that is my 1996 Earnhardt. So I'm super proud of it.
Sure. Not a bad car at all. I like them pictures. I always look for.
I have a. Speaking of patriotic scheme, sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off. I have a support our troops tire that as soon as I get my man cave built, I am going to encase all of my patriotic schemes in it. Apparently, it was like off of Mark Martin. Yeah, I got it Marketplace, but yeah, it's going to become a coffee table. And in case all of my patriotic cars. But anyway, let's do it now.
Welcome to the chat, sir.
What's going on, Gilly? Wow, thanks for joining.
Oh yeah. So on to the now scheme. Since it was had to go through and had to go through Las Vegas this weekend. Figure out which scheme I thought popped the most. And I decided to go with Noah Gregson. Fantastic car. Now, I remember when we announced it.
Good.
Paint scheme. Or the sponsor. I was like, I don't know what this is. What is this? So, turns out now because TikTok. Fancy little, like, compact screw.
Oh, okay.
But other than that,
it definitely beats his 4 Shades of Grey car.
Yeah, I liked the kind of did. I think it actually.
Yeah. It looks good on that Dark Horse.
Fortunately, we don't. Not a rookie. Probably give. Started P30. Definitely recovered from 6-point deficit. Pretty low black, yellow, and gray scheme. Hopefully, we'll see it again throughout the season at some point. But it won't be this weekend because, like, it's gonna have a Serve Pro.
I'm ready to see it's gonna be the now if it's what I think it's gonna be. Greg, duty.
That's all right. We didn't stipulate any rules that you couldn't have the same driver back to back. Maybe I'll pick another Dale Earnhardt scheme next week.
Hey, he's got some pretty good ones.
He's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That's all we got for this week. We are roughly at about the hour mark. Let's go.
actually.
Yeah. If you're on Twitch, not following us already, Go ahead and drop us a follow. Drop Dally a follow as well. Let me go ahead and throw that out there so you can follow him. Triple A. That pop
Yes,
up.
sir. Instead
There
of
we go.
following me on here, because this is about the because of time. Or honestly, that's where we post a lot more than anywhere else.
Yeah, so RHPD podcast on Twitter/X, whatever one you call it. We have an Instagram, but don't really much out there on that. We do have a YouTube live stream. We downloaded, cut out the beginning part that only our cool people get. Live with us.
Technically, it's on Spotify, but
just watch/listen on Spotify, which is Raise Hale, Praise the Hale podcast. Spotify. Then you'll get that beginning on YouTube. You lose the beginning live to hang out and chit chat with us.
definitely
Drop some likes and subscriptions on the YouTube and the Twitter and the Spotify, and might as well do the Instagram while you're at it. Much. And
need to link them together if I can.
Right.
So if I post on one, it'll the other one too. That'd be nice.
Works in progress, y'all. Works in progress.
This is only our 7th episode.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. One thing I would like to do. Got a few viewers in chat still. Cut this part out of. But instead of just letting our viewers drop off, I think. Oh, the fuck. But who you got?
Yes, I want to get third view.
What's his name again?
GS or Luca. LUK.
All right.
It's a random dude I've seen. If it's bad, I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah. So.
Pop up because I did put it in. ESI_Luke. There we go. It worked that time.
Hey.
So what we're gonna do is go ahead and thank everybody for joining us. Here in a second, we're gonna go show him some love. So when we hop in there, stick around for like a minute or two, check out his content. Like it, drop him follows. If not, go about your merry way. But we appreciate y'all coming. Catch you all next time. No, I clicked the wrong thing. We gotta go to put the outro up. Hey, see, we're human.